What's going on? What's going on? This is Friday, so that means it's Finance Friday. This is the Broke Genius. Today's topic is rich pretenders. Okay. What is a rich pretender? Basically, it is what it says. Someone that pretty much pretends that they rich. Now, typically the dominant culture in you could just say the world, but pretty much just the United States is rap music, right? Hip hop rap music, primarily rap music. Basically, that's what drives this type of behavior where you basically have people that are trying to fake it till they make it. Basically, they're pretending like they're rich before they actually even are rich. A lot of rappers before they even actually make any money, and a lot of rappers actually have never achieved actual riches. But it's a well-known fact that a lot of clout chasing and capping is done. It's been done way before since rap existed, people rent cars, rent chains, even or borrow chains from other people, uh, rent clothes, and all that type of stuff. Even it's some rappers that said basically when they were filming videos, basically rap videos, they would buy all of the clothes and everything, the shoes, and even put tape on the bottom of the shoes because basically they were taking everything back after the video shoot. Now, the thing is that that's that's not necessarily well, it's a problem, but one of the things I'll say is like, okay, the Roots, the rap group, the Roots, or actually a hip hop group, they actually went into that in one of their videos. I think is what it do. I think it's what it's called or whatever. I'm not really sure about the title, but they kind of went in on in their actual rap video of how cats were just like faking the funk or being flashy in videos and stuff like that. And kind of like to troll a lot of these fake rappers or these little you know style and profile rappers or whatever. And it's basically the problem is that you got people, young people, older people even, that watch these videos, and they actually are trying to live this lifestyle. It's even bad now because you have basically the rappers, then you have the entertainers as far as like even sports athletes. They actually are showcasing these like pretty much the rappers and every all of these entertainers, their girlfriends, and they have shows, and even some of the girlfriends or wives or ex-wives or whatever the case may be, with this whole like basketball wives and love and hip hop type of culture, you have basically the feminine side of it where you got now also women that are faking it. So you could pretty much a lot of the women that keep up with all of the gossip and the tea or whatever, they you go on media takeout and then they're showing basically people getting evicted from their houses, people getting evicted from their apartments. Like the guy that one of the rappers, Benzino, just came out about a year a video from the police department that it showed him getting evicted from his apartment. the video came out just recent, he was living in some like kind of like high scale, upscale apartment and got evicted or whatever. And the thing is this people are actually watching these videos, young people, older people, and they're trying to emulate that in real life. That's where the problem comes in. If it was just people that were just like, okay, they know basically this is what it is, and it's fine, it's okay, wouldn't be no big deal because it'd just be like, all right, everybody know what's up. Like when I used to watch WWF wrestling when I was like really really young, like 7, 6 years old, 8 years old. When I found out it was like fake, I kind of stopped watching it. Really, really did. I just stopped watching it. But the thing is like a lot of these youngsters, even older people, they don't know what goes on behind, a video studio, a video shoot. Now, of course, I mean the guys that are higher tier rappers, they can, I mean, afford, the clothes and the jewelry and everything like that, and they could genuinely do it. But for every high tier rapper or like rapper that basically makes millions of dollars a year, there's probably, I would say, 100,000 to a million rappers that don't. Okay, so I mean it's like it's very 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 slim pickings as far as very competitive to actually get to the top or whatever as far as in rap and hip hop or even R&B for that matter. It's very very competitive. And then not only that, I've been watching a lot of videos from different rappers, ex rappers, and even like singers and stuff like that, producers that they got hosed by the record labels. They got a record contract. A lot of times they will like, come from humble beginnings. So they were trying to better their situation in life. They got a hold of a record company, signed a record deal, and they pretty much didn't really probably read that good in high school. Let's just face it, some of these individuals probably, you would even say, from the sound of how they like actually talk and everything like that, they probably were in LD or didn't even finish high school. So reading 100-page contract, 50-page contract, actually understanding how to conduct business, understanding business law, contract law, and stuff like that. They don't. Average kid coming out of the ghetto does not understand that. Okay, they're just happy to kind of have the idea of actually getting some money. They get pretty much hooked up with these shady individuals that don't have their best interests at heart, and they basically taking advantage of impoverished people with talent. And it goes back a long time ago. It goes back well before I was born. These record companies, record producers, all of these like radio record execs taking advantage of uneducated, uh, basically uninformed, disenfranchised artists. Okay, I mean basically, and then once they get their actual catalog, their masters, their recordings, they can make money off of them for years and years to come. Their grandchildren can make money off of it. It's a really, really big deal. So I say all of that to say that, even if these guys, even the low tier rappers, even some of the highest tier rappers, such as like YG, he actually does not own his masters. because he, had a record deal and they pretty much advanced him a bunch of money or whatever the legal contractual details of his contract. It was more favorable in the long run for the record label, and he does not necessarily own a lot of his recordings. So basically, even the lower tier rappers, if they make a little bit of money, if they got the same situation where they got a shady record deal, shady contract, they're not going to get hardly anything, if not nothing. Okay. So, that being said, it's just it's a lot of like red tapes and gauntlets to even go through to try to, basically achieve any type of riches or wealth, you know. And from that, even, the whole idea of this like rock style life or, uh, you know, high profile type of like rap star, or whatever, and having all of these fancy clothes and everything. All of this is being sold to people, and a lot of people are going for it and actually trying to front like they actually are rich, and they're not, because it's people. Okay, this goes into the whole realm of you either rich or you poor, and I do believe it's an in between, and I've expressed that before. I mean, I'm not necessarily a poor person. The links in my I put my link in I put a link in my chat, and that actually I posted my a little screenshot of my personal financial statement. Okay. It's basically actual like financial statement. Okay. Now I did that because if I'm talking about money, I'm talking about, basically, wealth and net worth and all of this stuff. I'm putting some receipts out there. This is the first time I've ever did it. I'm kind of exposing myself a little bit. It's not necessarily beneficial for me to say if I've said I'm broke or I'm, financially struggling or whatever, my net worth is, below a certain amount. It's easy to really believe that, because why would somebody that actually would be what rich or wealthy pretend like they're broke, okay, just to get what somebody to watch them on YouTube. I mean, that sounds pretty silly, but I just put that out there because here's the reverse. For people that are promoting, you know, financial success, any, type of like financial, like I am up here, I am an elite person, I'm a rich person, I am a, any type of person, I think you should show your receipts. I think that it's disingenuous to basically talk about other people, that may be inadequate or whatever, and then you don't show any receipts. That I just find it disingenuous to a little bit, to a to a certain regard. I don't know. I just find it a little bit disingenuous, and it's like basically also the thing is that when it comes down to it, a lot of people actually pretend that they're doing better than what they actually are. It's like when somebody asks you, "How you doing? You didn't have no sleep hardly last night. Pretty much got a lot of stuff going on." Most people say, "I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay," and you're not. But it's like if you say, "Man, I feel like shit, and I didn't get any sleep last night," and it's like nobody would probably want to hear it, but you know, an honest person would say, "Yeah, I ain't feeling too good, but okay, it is what it is." So I just, I mean, most people that they do that with their financial status as well. They like, oh, we're doing great and we're doing well, we're blessed and so on and so forth. But if you pull the covers back, if you just look at their financial statement, they're not doing great. Okay. They're not doing well at all. They have a negative net worth, yet they also pretend that everything is okay, or they pretend that they actually like have a whole bunch of money. Like this is what I'm talking about. This is those pretentious people that pretend to be. I mean, because what is left if you're not honest with yourself and saying that you are, you know, like I had people come on my live and basically say like, man, I only make $1,200 a month. I mean, I had people that were honest with themselves to be like, you know what, hey, I ain't doing too good. I mean, I even been transparent myself. Like a couple years ago, I wasn't doing too well. I wasn't even making $1,200 a month. Okay, so it's like, where am I getting with this? I mean, basically, it's okay to basically be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, here's the thing. It's like a person that basically doesn't admit that they're fat. It's like, okay, you got the whole world, looking at you like, you getting 10,000, followers and all of this stuff, but you fat, but you got all these people liking you, but then you getting fatter and fatter and fatter. Next thing you know, you on TLC and they trying to lift you out the window with a forklift, because nobody was honest with you. You wasn't honest with yourself. This is the same thing that comes with the financial world. A lot of people not honest with their finances or not honest with reality. They end up being just like that fat person that does not deal with their weight issue, that does not deal with their life struggles, you know and it just basically becomes a situation where it's really really bad, but you just might not want to tell anybody, or you want to pretend, because women are really really bad with being pretentious. I mean, it's like, the Devils Wear Prada and Black Swan and all these other movies. I mean, women are very 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 highly highly pretentious. I mean, that just goes hand in hand. I mean, but men also are too, but it's like, what are the most uncomfortable topics? Religion, sex, and money, and also politics. I mean, four of those topics there can be like, I mean, probably people more, I would say maybe more, depending on who you're talking to, they might be more open to talking about sex, but politics, religion, uh, you know, basically finances, or, the personal financing, meaning how's your, personal finance status, for personal financial status. Like, people don't want to talk about that really. Like, people, I've worked with people and I know they made about the same amount of money that I had. Maybe they might made a dollar or two, maybe, I don't know. They could even made $5 more, but they felt uncomfortable talking about how much they made. It just, I mean, to each his own. But people actually do not feel comfortable talking about their personal finances, and pretty much that goes into actually why it's so easy. It's so people like want to be rich. They want to wake up. They want to be rich. Everybody pretty much wants to be rich, but nobody wants to actually talk about how to get rich or how to generate wealth. People actually really don't want to talk about it, as if it's just going to end up on your lap one day, or just gonna be just immersed with all of this wealth and riches and everything, and it doesn't happen that way. So, basically, I wrote out about three of the biggest challenges in life. Three of the biggest challenges is, I would say, losing weight. Some people even have a problem gaining weight, which is, I wish I had that problem. But losing weight is probably the easiest thing out of these three challenges, biggest life challenges to actually do. Uh, the second is, which is, the statistics are, little, I would say, more on the downside, but even this is more achievable than the final life challenge. And I pretty much already know where that's going, but recovering from a serious illness or disease is a lot more easy. Even, I mean, I'm even talking about cancer. I'm talking about, a stroke, or even like just certain illnesses. Now, okay, of course, I mean, brain cancer and stuff like that, of course, no. But like, I'm talking like maybe, prostate cancer, or skin cancer or something like that. You can recover from those diseases easier than it is to actually become rich or wealthy in this country, in a lot of countries, but in this country, only less than like 10% actually become rich, which I categorize rich as $500,000 to $1 million. And then here's the thing, and depending on where you are in the country, that might get you just a small, modest apartment. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that people's idea, because they get inundated with it through music videos, television, movies, that riches and wealth is just so attainable, it actually isn't. So from that, people try to step back and be like, they'll have Prada shoes, they'll have what type of male shoes, Balenciagas, all these type of Gucci shoes and Gucci belts and all of these clothes, and then even fancy cars, high interest, loans, and car payments, high insurance obligations, and all of this stuff. And then just to pretend that they're rich, but they actually aren't. I mean, it's people that live this lifestyle as we speak. And then what is the main motive to it? When you ask these people, when you start having these conversations, you only live once. You might as well live life to the fullest. If you ever hear this type of talk, or if you think this yourself, let me ask you a question. How are you living your life to the fullest with a 25%, and I'm being honest, 25% interest APR, and you're paying $300 or $400 more than the average payment of someone with like it, just take the interest out of it, because you can get a car loan with 0% interest, 2%, 3% interest. How are you living your life to the fullest with a subprime car loan? And they even have subprime mortgages too, for houses and condos and townhomes too. How are you living your life to the fullest with all of this debt? I mean, that's this is the older me trying to ask these questions that I've heard over the years, for decades, of people actual mindset of just getting all of these things on credit or whatever, even paying cash for it when you are in debt, when you're negative, when your net worth is negative. This is the head scratching, basically that I have as far as, I mean, why even why even bother? Like why would this be something that you feel as though you're living your life to the fullest with all of this debt, with basically all of these uh high interest rate loans and everything. So that's the question that I would have for people that think like that. Like I said, less than 10% of the actual population are actually rich. So where are all these people that basically are not poor or not even, like I would say, broke? I mean, where are these people? I mean, most people. I'm gonna show this wealth paradigm again. This is something that I created pretty much. I'm gonna show I'm gonna show what this is, this wealth paradigm, because most people are somewhere in between or below, more of below than up top. So just a second, let me go back to this wealth paradigm again. Let me see here. Because I mean, I get it. It's like it's embarrassing to be broke. It's embarrassing to be, you know, poor. It's very embarrassing. Trust me, it, it is. It's not fun. I mean, it's like basically it's something that, I mean, like if you're obese or really really obese or fat, I mean, people pretty much they can see that. You can't really hide that shit. You can't hide that, but you can pretend like you're actually you can pretend like you got money, but you really can't. Like if you're sick or you got weight issues, you wear that on your sleeve. Most people try to do liposuctions and all of this other stuff or whatever, and then end up looking all crazy and stuff. But I mean, you can't, what I'm saying, you can't hide that, but you can pretend to actually be rich. Like you can go rent a Lamborghini for like $500. You can do like a gold digger prank with the Lamborghini or Ferrari or whatever, and you can rent an actual Lamborghini. Okay, you can even rent a mansion. I mean, it probably costs you thousands of dollars a day, but you can pretend, you know. I mean, it's gonna cost you a little bit, and it's people actually do that. Like they do that a lot in Miami and LA. I'm sure they probably do it, other places as well. Like they'll rent a Lamborghini for the weekend, like you know, just and then work at a grocery store, like bagging groceries, and literally rent a Lamborghini for just to, like they say, to live life to the fullest. You know, people actually do this. So here is the wealth paradigm. Okay. So if I had to say e- if I had to say basically, let me open up let me open this up again. Let me open this up in Paint Shop. That way I can write on it. So I would say that about about 80%. I know, excuse my writing. You know what? Actually, I don't even necessarily have to write per se. I don't really have to write. I could use the text box here. All right. So I would say about 80 80%. Let me make this bigger. 80% of people are somewhere within this range right here. I'll say from down for like poverty, working class, basically to broke up and coming millionaires, 30 to 60 thousand dollars in debt. I mean, no, 30 to 60 thousand dollars in income and debt with that, and then 0 to 20 thousand with debt, and slightly some of the people will be in this 70 to 100K plus debt. 80% of individuals are are in this this category. Let me draw a little bit again. Let me change this to like, I'll just change this right here. Most people are in this category here, down here. So people that are actually somewhat more in the middle and going towards rich, actually being rich. I mean, 20 per. I mean, let's just break it down as far as let's just break it down, like break it down a couple times. So in this range, let me move this over a little bit. I would say about 15%. 15% are in this range right here. Like just, I mean, 15%. So that's 60, 70 to 100K plus debt. Henry high earner, not rich yet. High value, which is 100K, 150K with no personal debt. Because I have to disagree with Mr. Kevin. You know, if you got debt, my philosophy is basically assets over liability. So if you got it really doesn't matter right here, even up here. If you got debt, I mean personal debt, yeah, nah, no debt, high value, and then Henry's with debt. It's 15%. Okay. Now I wasn't the best at math. I have to admit that. But only thing left over is about 5%. Okay. 200K to $1 million, no personal debt. So really, it's only about 5% of people that actually like are uber wealthy or actually wealthy or rich. All of these people down here, all these people down here basically are faking the funk on a nasty dunk. I mean, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, more the higher up here, the closer you are. But it's only like as far as lifestyles of the rich and famous, only 5%. And when you, because this is just the bare minimum, because you also have like the 1%, the 1%, have well over $1 million. Okay. And then you have the 0.01% to have basically uber wealthy individuals to have over $10 million, of income every year. Okay. So it's not that many people basically that are rich. Okay. It's literally not. So what am I saying? Basically, just own your financial inadequacies. Okay, you don't necessarily, okay, if broke bothers you, you can come up with some other name that makes you feel so much better. But it's unrefutable. Nobody is refute. One thing I will say is that ain't nobody refuting what I'm saying. Okay, for whatever reason, like I know people sneak watch. They, what I'm saying, I've what I'm saying, I seen people that are actually rich dudes like sneak watching my stuff, watching my content. It's all good. I don't really care who's watching my. I do this because I want people to actually watch my videos to get something from it. Now, the thing is this: for whatever reason, what I'm saying, it's like they're paying it. People are paying attention, so that's a good thing. Okay, but the bad thing is that when I go outside of my own little space or whatever, people are pretending, are being very pretentious, you know. And it's like, okay, so why because see, here's the thing, like I say, like the monogamous pretender, and then you have the monogamous pretender is very similar to a rich pretender, whereas you got people that don't even talk about money. They don't talk about their own personal financial success, right? And the basically omission of that is that leads to believe, okay, I am. If I omit something, that means I'm not talking about it, therefore I am, because you never said that you were not broke or poor or whatever. So the thing is this: the gig is up. Statistically, mostly everyone is either broke, poor, or barely in between. I didn't did the statistics. Like, I mean, this is just my own little general statistics. You can actually, there are wealth statistics that you could, look up. I mean, most people are pretty much middle class or below. Okay, so middle class is like basically 50 grand. You know, the highest is like over 60 grand. That's middle class. So if if I, if I find, if I know you, I know pretentious people, right? So it's like, okay, if I can sniff it out, what I'm saying, I'm just gonna take a mental note of it. I'm gonna do the I'm gonna do the Mercury thing, and just, the, just take a mental note of it, basically. And I'm, basically just be like, all right, this guy suspect. That's all I'm gonna say. This woman is suspect. But yeah, the thing is that I actually thought about being a rich pretender, when I came up with the concept, when I came up with the idea for my millionaire savings plan book. I was like, well, all of these ideas and concepts, how would that look if I'm actually not rich yet or whatever? I'm not wealthy, I thought about faking it before I made it too. I was thinking, okay, I'll just pretend like I'm rich and then talk about my book and showcase my book. And I was like, basically, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna embarrass myself to a certain degree from the naysayers, because there's always gonna be naysayers and people that laugh at you and all of that, troll you. I'm actually I'm actually quite I'll have to admit I'm a little bit jealous that I'm not getting trolled. I want to get trolled because one thing about trolls that I like, um they're pretty fun to deal with sometimes. But it's like, I know trolls only come after you when you're successful, when you're very, very highly, you're getting a lot of, noise and juice and everything like that. I get a lot of spam bots trying to put in little like URLs for like porn sites and stuff like that on my posts. Uh, I just report it, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, I thought about actually pretending to actually be rich so I can better promote my book, and just think about how many people that actually do this. Like they literally lie to people to try to like get money from people. It's like a lot of people scamming people. I've been watching a lot of videos of like people starting little groups and foundations and taking people's donation money or taking people's investment money and blowing it, and then just like being ghost to their like social media accounts and stuff and like, basically like scamming people out of their money and stuff like that. That's quite interesting, but I just had to be real with it and just be like, you know what? This is the journey that, I'm trying to join to join myself. And the thing about it is, it's like I don't think I have any problem with that because what I bestow on people or bring to the world is gonna help some people actually become wealthier and rich, achieve goals, create legacies, and change people's lives. I'm already doing that. I've had people, that said, pretty much you're a godsend. So the thing is that it's nothing wrong with me pretty much joining the same journey, not already having to like pretty much cross the finish line. But it's like basically coaches that has never played the actual game that they actually coached and were very, very successful. So I don't have any problems with that at all. I made my peace with it, and it's pretty. It's gonna be, pretty much a success because it's already a personal success for me. It's changed my life. It's something that has helped me, but I had to be real with myself. I had to basically understand, okay, this is what it is. You have this much and you have to deal with life. You have to, do certain things and stuff like that. And this millionaire savings plan basically helps me deal with that one step at a time. And it's something that can't wait to bring out to the world and the public. It'll be my first book. It'll be something that I you know didn't really know. I had all kind of ideas for books, but didn't really know what book I was actually gonna write. But this is something that definitely it's a good first because I think so. It's definitely something that's helped me quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, continue to sneak watch. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all good if you know want to just continue to sneak watch and not subscribe and all of that other stuff. I care, but I really don't care. I only really, to be honest with you, I care about probably a few subs, a few watchers, and then my Patreon subscribers. Everybody else, pretty much, I really don't care too much about. So, all right, later.